Okay, so we were discussing regarding the topic delegation of authority. As far as term delegation is concerned, delegation means transfer of authority. When the superiors are transferring their work to their subordinates, so along with the responsibilities, they have to give even the authority to make some decisions so that the delay should not happen. But we have found that there are some barriers in the process of delegation. Sometimes superiors, they don't want to delegate the authority to the subordinates due to some reason. And sometimes superior is ready to give the authority to the subordinates, but these are the subordinates who are not ready to accept the challenge. In the last lecture, we have discussed regarding that barriers of delegation of authority from the part of superior and on the part of the subordinate. These two things we have already done. Then later on, we have discussed regarding that if we want to make it, the delegation more effective, we learned these things, principles of delegation. Principles means the rules of delegation. So if any organization which is following these rules, these principles, they will be in a position to make the use of delegation. Delegation is going to give you a lot of advantages. So you can enjoy all these benefits if you are having or if you follow the principles of delegation correctly and in an effective manner. So this is what we have understood till last lecture. Now today we are going to understand a new topic which is new but having a relation or correlated with these things. If you remember, before this we have learned the concept of span of management. What is the span of management? Span of management means the number of subordinates that can be supervised effectively by a superior. एक superior कितने लोगों को effectively supervise कर सकता है? See, if you are having 10 people under you, you can manage it, but you cannot manage them effectively. You have to be very rational. You have to be very situational because you are having 10 people. That means 10 different kinds of people you are having. They are having different moods. They are having different behavior. They are having different attitude, different background. Everything is different. So what Gracuna has suggested, Gracuna suggested that if you are at the top level, you have to have maximum 6 numbers of subordinates. And if you are at the middle level or at the lower level, you should not have more than 20 subordinates. This is what we have understood. 6:20, right? So that is applicable when you are following the principles of management very religiously, right? Now this decentralization is a topic which is having correlation directly or indirectly with the topic of span of management as well as with the delegation of authority. So first we will understand the concept of decentralization and then we will find how it is correlated with these two topics. Now in our olden era, we had, especially in India, even today we are having that system of management that is called as traditional management, right? Some people call this as orthodox management system. Orthodox management system or traditional management system means where all the powers are with the top level managers. The middle level managers or lower level managers, they don't have even any authority to speak out or to share their opinions or views. No, they have to just follow the decisions, whatever are taken by top level managers. And many a times, top level managers used to take some decisions which are taken or without taking into account or ignoring the problems of the middle level managers and lower level managers. For example, company wants to double the sale. That is the target, that in the next year our sales should be double, our target should be double, our profit should be double. This is what they feel. So what they will do, they will not increase the laborer or the human resources. The same amount of work, means in the double work, will be allotted to the same people. So now people have to work double time. Whatever efforts they used to make till last year, they have to put double efforts because the top level managers, they want to achieve the double target. without considering or without pointing out the problems which may be faced by the middle level and lower level managers. See, if your working hours are getting increased, you may be physically over there, but mentally you may not be satisfied to work over there. That is going to demotivate you. And with the fear that if I leave this particular job, I will not get job anywhere. Because of that purpose only you are working. That means you are self-centric. You don't think about the organization. You're thinking about you, that since after leaving this job, I will not get job anywhere else. So better to continue over here. And the moment you will get another opportunity, you will not have even a second thought to think not to leave the organization. Immediately you will join the another organization. And that will be the loss for your previous organization. So now slowly and gradually, the system is getting changed. Now the top level managers are even involving middle level managers in making the decision. Not only that, now even the authority is also given to the middle level managers to make some small decisions, not major decisions. But we have learned one topic in chapter number 2, programmed decision. Programmed decisions means which are taken very frequently, or these are the problems which are coming every now and then, and we solve it by taking some standard decision. So that is the best way to motivate your people. At the same time, you can make use of this concept called as decentralization. So decentralization is a modern way of management where the authority of making small decisions or routine decisions are given to the subordinates as well. Now, this is directly related with your delegation of authority as well as span of management, or any manner. You can say directly or indirectly. In any manner, you just catch this point. You may get that decentralization is having correlation with the delegation of authority as well as span of management. And these three things will make your organization a successful organization. That is the reason nowadays the modern managers, they follow everything religiously. They are following all the principles and they are getting success also. Now let us see what is the definition of decentralization. It says that decentralization is the tendency to disperse decision-making authority in an organization structure to the extent authority is not delegated, it is centralized. This is the second line. So first we will understand the first paragraph. It says that it is the tendency to disperse. Disperse means distribute. When you are allotting the work, when you are distributing the work, that is called as disperse. Allocating, when you are dividing. So over here, what you are dividing, what you are distributing, the decision-making authority in an organizational structure. Organizational structure means where you have already defined your superior subordinate relations. You are having a very good amount of, or you can say that you are having the well-structured system where you are explaining the superior and subordinate relationship. That is our organization structure. We have learned so many organization structure. Remember, line organization, line and staff organization, then matrix organization. These are the structures. So when you are dividing or when you are distributing the authority of decision making in the structure, that is called as decentralization. For example, you may give some important decision making authority to middle level managers, because middle level managers are working directly under top level managers. Then the lower level managers like supervisors, also those who are taking care of your laborer and all, they are called as lower level managers. So they may not be having the authority to make very important decisions. Of course, the routine decisions, very small decisions they can take by their own. There is no need for them to wait for the top level managers or the general manager to take the decision. Whatever problems comes, immediately they make the decision and then they go ahead, so that the work is not getting delayed. But if the decision is little high, then lower level manager cannot take. He has to take permission from middle level manager, or he has to pass the message to middle level manager, because that is not his authority. That is called as decentralization. The person who is working as a lower level manager may not be in a position to make very important decisions. So what he will do, he will pass that work to middle level managers. If middle level managers feel that no, I cannot even pass this decision, or I'm not having the authority, then it will go to top level managers. This is called as distribution of decision making. Now, even in a bank also, if you go to withdraw your money, if your money is less than 20,000, there is no need for you to give the check to the clerk and to take the token and all. Directly you can go to the cash counter and you can withdraw the money. But if your amount is more than 20,000 and less than 50,000, you have to go to the clerk. The clerk will sign and he will give you the token. If your amount is more than 50,000, then even that clerk will not sign. He will send that check to the officer who will go through the transaction. He will see your PAN number and all, then he will sign it. So, the amount wise the decision, the authority has been given. That is called as decentralization. So I hope you understood the first meaning of decentralization. Decentralization is nothing, but it is a tendency or a system. Tendency means a system, you can say that, to disperse. Disperse means what? To distribute decision-making authority in the organization structure. Now, yahan tak to ho gaya decentralization ki meaning. After that, they are supporting this. They are saying that to the extent authority is not delegated. That means whatever authority which is not delegated, it is centralized. Because it is again suggested by the experts that the whole system should not be decentralized. If you are making your entire organization as decentralized, that means, you are allowing your middle level and lower level managers to make all the decisions, then it will be chaos. Because everybody will be making their own decisions. You have already given them the authority. So you cannot take that back. If you have already given them the authority, they make any decision. So the decisions may go wrong and you cannot blame them because you only have given them the authority. So over here, expert says that you have to have decentralization, but if the matter is very serious or the decisions are very important, in that case, that power of authority should not be delegated. And that not delegated authority is called as centralization. That means the power which are in the hands of top level managers, some important decisions which are to be taken only by top level managers, that is called as centralization. So over here, we can see that's a balance. The very important decisions are taken by top level managers because they are having that much responsibility. And then the routine decisions you have dispersed, you have distributed among your managers or among your, in your levels, in your level of organization. That is called as decentralization. So there should be balance of them. So this will give you the output that your subordinates will never get disappointed. अगर आपको भी एक ऐसी जगह पे काम मिला है, आप ऐसी जगह पे ऑफिस में काम करते हो जहां पे आपको थोड़ी बहुत अथॉरिटी दे दिया कि इस तरह का कोई प्रॉब्लम आएगा ना तो तुम अपने हिसाब से देख लिया करो, ये डिसीजन लेके इसको रफा दफा कर दो, पैसा चाहिए ना 5,000 रुपए तक की अथॉरिटी तुम्हारे पास है, विड्रॉ कर दो, मेरे पास आने की जरूरत नहीं। अगर आपको ऐसा बॉस बोलता है तो आपके मन में एक जगह एक तरह की सेटिस्फेक्शन रहेगी. You will be having morale for the organization, you will be having respect for your job, and you may feel proud inside that you are having that much authority. आपका एक जगह पे सिग्नेचर बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करता है, एक जगह पे आपकी आर्ग्यूमेंट काफी रोल प्ले करती है. तो ये जो चीज है, यहाँ पे आपको सैलरी ज्यादा नहीं मिल रही है, but what they have done, they have given you some authority which has motivated you, and this kind of system is the pleasant system. When in future you are going to join any organization, if you are having this system in your organization, most of the companies or the management, they have already started following this. You will have a pleasant atmosphere because you may find that nobody is fighting, everybody is having their own authority to make the decision. And when you are having the authority, you are having the same amount of responsibility as well. So whatever decisions you are going to make, you will be taking all these decisions by considering your responsibility. कि अगर ये डिसीजन मेरा रॉन्ग हो गया तो मैं जिम्मेदार हो जाऊंगा ये पेनल्टी भरने के लिए या ये पनिशमेंट के लिए। तो आप वो डिसीजन बहुत सोच समझ के लेंगे और कभी भी वो गलत नहीं जाएंगे। और ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को यही तो चाहिए, राइट? अगर आपको ही उन्होंने डिसीजन मेकिंग का अथॉरिटी दे दिया, आप ही काम कर रहे हो, तो इससे क्या होगा, जो टॉप लेवल मैनेजर्स हैं, they will be getting lot of time to think for the expansion, because they are appointed for that purpose only. Your work is to follow them. So what they have done, they have appointed you, they have given you the work along with the authority and responsibility. This decentralization is having that many advantages, and because of that, of course, in the large scale organization they follow it. But in small scale organization, even today in India, the centralization system is prevailing, where all the decisions are taken by the owner or by the top level managers, and middle level manager and lower level manager, they don't have any authority to raise the voice or to say anything because they don't have the authority. And this is going to delay your work as well, right? So that is decentralization. So always you have to have a balance. If you make fully decentralized, or there's a decentralization in your organization, then you will not be having any control on them. And many people may misuse also. There are many people who are misusing their authority. अगर एक मैनेजर को अथॉरिटी दे दिया कि तुम्हें हम अथॉरिटी दे रहे हैं कि किसी के साथ भी तुम ये एग्रीमेंट साइन करके मटेरियल खरीद सकते हो, ये तुम्हारी जिम्मेदारी, हम बीच में बोलने वाले नहीं, मटेरियल जिससे खरीदना है खरीद लो। तो अब ये जो बंदा है जिसको अथॉरिटी दे दिया है, वो क्या करेगा, अपने ही लोगों को चांस ज्यादा देगा। हो सकता है उसकी फैमिली मेंबर्स ही हो, वो बिजनेस करते हो, तो बाकी लोगों को चांस थोड़ी ना देगा, उसको तो यहाँ पे चांस मिल गया अपनी फैमिली को बिजनेस देने का, और दूसरा रेट भी उनको बढ़ा चढ़ा के दे देगा। तो ऐसे लोग भी हैं जो उसको मिसयूज करते हैं। सो डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन होना चाहिए, पर बहुत ही केयरफुली डिवाइड करना है काम को और बैलेंस रखना चाहिए, सेंट्रलाइजेशन एंड डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन। ओके, अब आपको सवाल कैसा आएगा? If exams are offline, then this question will be carrying 7.5 mark, right? In 7.5 mark, 1.5 mark will be given on the thing which you are seeing on the screen, and another 6 marks will be on the points which I'm going to show you on the second screen. That is the offline exam. But if it is online, then from this, this definition, 2-3 things can be asked. Like, decentralization is the tendency to dash the decision-making authority. That is to disperse, distribute, allocate, any word will be there. So you have to identify the word. You have to understand the meaning of disperse. Disperse means divide. तो आपको एग्जाम में अगर ये MCQ फॉर्म में आता है, तो डायरेक्टली वर्ड ये हो भी सकता है, नहीं भी हो सकता है, नहीं तो उसकी मीनिंग रहेगी एलोकेशन, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, सेग्रीगेशन, व्हाटएवर, आपको मीनिंग याद होना चाहिए। और दूसरा यहाँ से एक आ सकता है, ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर भी ब्लैंक के फॉर्म में आएगा, या टू द एक्सटर्नल अथॉरिटी इज नॉट डेलीगेटेड, इट इज सेंट्रलाइज्ड, राइट? जहां तक आपकी अथॉरिटी डेलीगेट नहीं की गई है, तो वो क्या बन जाता है, सेंट्रलाइज्ड। Now let us understand the another slide which I am talking about. Now here, for our convenience, actually we are going to understand the distinction between centralization and decentralization, right? And these are the features. So let us say in offline exam the question comes, what do you mean by decentralization? Also explain characteristics or features of decentralization. So you have to explain the points which are going to come, right? पर क्योंकि सेंट्रलाइजेशन और डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन दोनों ही चीजें समझनी है, तो मैंने क्या किया हुआ है, यहाँ पे मैंने उस चीज को यहाँ पे डिस्टिंक्शन के फॉर्म में लेके आया है। So let us see that what are the distinction point. The first point is meaning. Meaning is very clear to us. Centralization means the system where the authorities are in the hands of top level managers. All the decisions are taken by top level managers. Whereas decentralization is a system where you are distributing the authority to your subordinates to make the decision. That is decentralization. So some power is given even to the middle level managers or even lower level managers. Then the next is size of organization. Now this, if I ask you that where centralization is applicable and where decentralization is applicable, what will be your answer for that? size of organization. I am unmuting you for 1 minute. So if you have any answer, you can unmute yourself and you can give me the answer for that. Centralization is applicable in which kind of organization? When we talk about the size, small and large, we are having two types of organization. Either it is a small scale and medium scale, or it is a large scale. So if somebody is asking you where centralization is applicable, what could be your answer? In which kind of organization centralization system is applicable? Okay, some answers are coming in the chat box. Okay. So centralization is applicable for small scale organization. If you want, you can write it at some place. Centralization is applicable in small scale organization, and decentralization is required in large scale organization. Right? Small scale organization क्या होता है? जहां पे आपका बिजनेस जो है वो तो स्मॉल साइज का है, तो जाहिर सी बात है लोग भी कम रहेंगे ना. आपके पास अगर बिजनेस का साइज ज्यादा नहीं है, ज्यादा बिजनेस नहीं है, ज्यादा कैपिटल भी नहीं है, तो ज्यादा लोग भी नहीं रहेंगे आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में. तो जब ज्यादा लोग नहीं हैं तो टॉप लेवल मैनेजर सारे पावर्स अपने हाथ में ही रखते हैं. स्मॉल स्केल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में सेंट्रलाइजेशन रहता है. बट इफ यू आर हैविंग ह्यूज कैपिटल, योर बिजनेस इज ऑल्सो वेरी एक्सपांडेड, राइट? यू आर हैविंग सो मेनी ब्रांचेस, so you may be having many people who are working under you. Then in that case, you have to have decentralization system, right? Because if you keep all the powers with you, then it is going to affect so many people, right? So many people are working under you, so some people may not be in a position to accept your decision. Some people may not be in a position to follow your instructions. That is the reason it is said that centralization is applicable for small scale organization and decentralization is applicable for large scale organization. Please keep that thing in your mind and write it someplace if you wish to. Then another characteristic or the difference point is cost factor. As far as cost factor is concerned, we can say that centralization is very economical. खर्चा नहीं होता, right? खर्चा नहीं होता है. कॉस्ट फैक्टर मतलब जहां पे खर्चा होता है. सो सेंट्रलाइजेशन इज अ सिस्टम वेयर देयर इज नो कॉस्ट फैक्टर और इट इज वेरी इकोनॉमिकल. Whereas decentralization is having this cost factor, it may be expensive. Because when you are giving the authority to your subordinates, you are giving even the same amount of responsibility. So when you are giving the responsibility, you have to appoint the people who are having that much logic or that much IQ or rationality to make the decisions. आपको ऐसे लोगों को अपॉइंट करना पड़ेगा एटलीस्ट जिनके पास क्वालिफिकेशन हो, एक्सपीरियंस हो, लॉजिकली सोचते हो. आप कभी भी देखो जो एक एजुकेटेड पर्सन रहता है ना, मेजॉरिटी की बात कर रहा हूं, एजुकेटेड पर्सन लॉजिकली सोचता है, टेक्निकली सोचता है, क्योंकि उसने इतनी सारी चीजें सीखी. और एक अनपढ़ रहेगा ना, वो टेक्निकली नहीं सोचता है, वो अपने हिसाब से अपने ढंग से सोचता है. तो अगर आप अपनी अथॉरिटी किसी को दे रहे हो तो जाहिर सी बात है आप क्वालिफाइड कैंडिडेट को ही अपॉइंट करोगे, एक्सपीरियंस कैंडिडेट को अपॉइंट करोगे, तो उसको सैलरी भी ज्यादा ही देनी पड़ेगी ना. तो जब आप उसको ज्यादा सैलरी देते हो तो वो कॉस्ट फैक्टर हो जाता है, वो महंगा बढ़ जाता है ना. तो व्हेन यू आर हैविंग सेंट्रलाइजेशन सिस्टम, you only are making all the decisions because you are the top level and other people are just following. So you can appoint anyone. So there is no need to spend money on that. But when you are having decentralization system in your organization, you are appointing qualified and experienced people, maybe professional people. So they will not work with the low amount of salary. They will be charging money for that. So decentralization is having the cost factor, whereas centralization is very economical or very reasonable. There is no cost factor at all in centralization. Then the next characteristic is time factor. As far as centralization is concerned, absolutely, there is no wastage of time, right? Because all the decisions are taken by the top level manager, but sometimes it is harming. If your organization is large, राइट, यू हैव नॉट फॉलोड डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आपके पास बहुत सारे लोग हैं, काफी सारे ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज के नंबर हैं, और आपने डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन सिस्टम फॉलो नहीं किया है, सारे पावर आप खुद लेके बैठे. तो अब क्या होगा, जो लोअर लेवल का रहेगा मैनेजर, उसको तो अथॉरिटी दिया नहीं, वो पास करेगा मैसेज मिडिल लेवल के पास, देन मिडिल लेवल आ जाएगा टॉप लेवल के पास, फिर आप वो मैटर देखेंगे, पढ़ेंगे, फिर मीटिंग लेंगे और फिर डिसीजन लेंगे. तो कितना डिले होगा, राइट? But in small scale, it is going to save your time, because everything is known to you. You are quickly taking the decision. So here, if we compare about the size of organization, we have to compare where they are applicable, and if they are not following that, what is the system. So we can say that if the organization is a large scale, and if there is centralization system, then it is going to take lot of time. Your wastage of time will be there. So you have to have decentralization. So we can conclude that in the large scale organization, if there is decentralized system, then it is going to save a lot of time, because decisions are taken there and there itself. There is no delay. Whereas if you follow centralized system in the large scale organization, then in that case, there will be delay in decision making, and that is going to take a lot of your time. Then the next is uniformity. If organization follows centralized system, then there is uniformity. क्योंकि आप अकेले हैं, टॉप लेवल मैनेजर हैं, आप जो भी डिसीजन लेंगे वो सबके लिए यूनिफॉर्म हो जाएगा, सबके लिए एक जैसा हो जाएगा. लेकिन जब डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन आ जाती है, तो ये डिपेंड करता है पर्सन टू पर्सन, वो कैसे डिसीजन लेते हैं. तो वो कभी कभी यूनिफॉर्म नहीं होते. मतलब आपके पास 4 डिपार्टमेंट है एक ही लेवल पे. यू आर हैविंग प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट, यू आर हैविंग मार्केटिंग डिपार्टमेंट, यू आर हैविंग रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट डिपार्टमेंट, एंड यू आर हैविंग फाइनेंस डिपार्टमेंट. ये चारों डिपार्टमेंट के जो मैनेजर्स हैं, जनरल मैनेजर, ये मिडिल लेवल मैनेजर्स हैं. आपने इनको अथॉरिटी दे दिया कि अपने अपने डिपार्टमेंट की तुम लोग डिसीजंस लेते रहो. तो कई बार इनका डिसीजन अलग अलग हो जाता है, क्योंकि ये 4 अलग अलग लोग हैं जो अपने अपने डिपार्टमेंट के बारे में सोचते हैं. बट अल्टीमेटली ये आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जिसके ऊपर वो असर आएगा. तो यूनिफॉर्मिटी नहीं रहती. डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन में यूनिफॉर्मिटी आने का चांस थोड़ा कम हो जाता है. वेयरएज सेंट्रलाइजेशन में हमेशा यूनिफॉर्मिटी रहेगा, क्योंकि एक ही पर्सन है जो पूरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए डिसीजन लेता है. दैट इज द यूनिफॉर्मिटी पॉइंट. देन द नेक्स्ट इज बर्डन ऑन टॉप एग्जीक्यूटिव. If your organization is following centralized system, then there is a lot of burden on top level executives, क्योंकि उनके पास काम करना है और डिसीजंस भी सारे लेने, तो उनका बर्डन बढ़ जाता है, काम का बोझ आ जाता है. Whereas decentralization is reducing their burden to certain extent, क्योंकि आपने क्या किया, टॉप लेवल मैनेजर्स ने आपने अपनी अथॉरिटी दूसरे को दे दी, तो आपका काम कम हो गया, है ना. तो when you are having centralized system, the burden on top executive is very high, whereas in decentralized system the burden is less. Then the next is paperwork. In case of centralization there is less paperwork. लेस, बहुत कम पेपर्स की जरूरत पड़ती है, क्योंकि अथॉरिटी एक ही है डिसीजन लेने वाली, तो अपने पेपर्स ध्यान से बना के रख देते हैं. लेकिन अगर आपने डिसेंट्रलाइज किया है तो पेपर वर्क बहुत बढ़ जाता है, क्योंकि हर एक पर्सन अपना डिसीजन लेता है, उसके बराबर वो उसका रीजंस देता है, फिर वो काम होने के बाद क्या आउटपुट आया वो, तो ये सारी चीजें पेपर वर्क हो जाती है, तो काम बढ़ जाता है. मतलब आपका डॉक्यूमेंटेशन का काम बढ़ जाता है अगर डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन है तो. एंड सेंट्रलाइजेशन में तो डॉक्यूमेंट्स कम रखते हैं, पेपर वर्क कम हो जाता है. Then the last is quality of decision making. Now I am leaving it up to you, right? What do you feel? Whether quality decisions are made under centralization or under decentralization? I am, giving it up to you. Okay, Mitali is saying decentralization is giving you the quality decision. Any other answer? What do you feel? अभी आपको ये टॉपिक तो क्लियर हो गया, सेंट्रलाइजेशन क्या है, डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन क्या है. तो अगर आपको कोई पूछता है कि क्वालिटी डिसीजन कहाँ आते हैं, okay, I'm getting many answers for centralized. Some are saying in the sending message in direct messaging, centralization. Yes, as far as quality decision makings are concerned, you may get it in centralization because they are the top level managers. They are well qualified. They are well experienced. So there is decision are having some quality. That means वो जो हम लोगों ने सीखा था ना essentials of decision making in chapter number 1 or chapter number 2. So centralization में top level managers, they follow that rapport. Whereas in decentralization, somewhere it is lagging. Because here the authority is given to everyone to make the decision. So there are chances that the quality may not be that much, which is going to bring the success for the organization. Whereas in centralization, you can get the quality because these decisions are taken by the most authenticate people and they will be bringing success for your organization. So with this topic comes to an end. And tomorrow we are going to start a fresh topic.